It's no secret there's been a seismic shift in the way we interact with technology, led by our reliance on computers, and transforming every facet of our personal and professional lives, from business and education to commerce and wellness to banking and investing, and of course, fostering deeper social connections, especially in an age where we might be more physically isolated. But when it comes to interfacing with technology, it's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. How and where you leverage computers will vary greatly to suit your specific needs. And so companies like HP has reinvented what a computer can do, where it can be used, and the myriad of ways to use it. Here to help me talk about why the PC is essential is Andy Rhodes, Global Head of Commercial PCs for HP Inc. Andy, welcome to Tech Impact.
Great, thanks Mark. It's really great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Would you say the consideration of various pressing global issues has fueled HP's innovative, cutting-edge advancements addressing worldwide corporate needs?
You know, Mark, it's really interesting. If we look back over the last 12 months or so, you know, what we found is that the PC is absolutely essential to so many people across the world, whether you're working from home, learning from home, teaching from home, gaming from home, living from home. What's interesting is that we've had this philosophy of what we've called Office of the Future for many years, and it's happening right now, and actually it's accelerating. And that Office of the Future was all about the workforce, the workplace, and the work style. And if you look at the workplace, that's what's really accelerated. And then what we've found is, as we've studied the home, it's become really a new design center for us. We used to really design around the office, even though that office was changing to more open spaces. We design around, executives or salespeople on the road. And now we're studying the home and actually designing for the home. And really what's interesting there is that people are actually very mobile even within the home. And people are competing for scarce resources in the home, whether that's internet bandwidth, whether it's space, do I get the couch, do I get the home office? But really what they're competing for, in my mind, is focus. They're competing for the places to go and focus. And one of our studies shows that when you lose focus on a specific task, it can take up to 23 minutes to regain that focus. So it's so important. So if I sort of take that thought forward, what we're really trying to design for is, the experiences on the PC, and those experiences are one that allow people to better collaborate, that allow people to do that all day long, to do it in many, many different places, to move around as they do it. And then if we have all of the IT people that support these large companies, and they're trying to really, really figure out how to help people from home. And so things like, how quickly can I get new laptops, new desktops to people? How quickly can I get them up and running on these cloud-based applications? And then if something does go wrong, how quickly do I support it when they're not in the office?
And what are some of the key elements that enable HP to claim top of the line, so to speak, when it comes to business laptop technology?
Yeah, great, Mark. If we stick to this theme that the world is working from home, which soon will turn into work from anywhere, then one of the products that we're really proud of, actually we've won 14 plus awards at CES this year, and it epitomizes the whole of where technology is going to solve the problems I just talked about, is the Elite Dragonfly Max. So let me sort of talk a little bit about this. One, super lightweight for that micro-mobility, moving from room to room around the house and soon moving from space to space around the world. It's sub 1 kilo, so really, really benefits in light. Another is sort of this collaboration. And when I mean collaboration, I mean being able to work with people over video chat, audio, but it's really going down into some of the experiences there. So how do you have great cameras so that if you're working, at night, you have the same, visual identity as if you are in the day. Most communication these days is nonverbal. And so, having a great camera allows for a lot of that energy that people have in meetings, to sort of go down the networks and come out to other people's PCs. I think also audio, and so we have dynamic audio. We actually have AI noise suppression. So if your dog is barking in the background, our PCs will actually take that noise and filter it out so that you don't get those distractions. And then just simple things like if you are spending 10 hours a day now in front of your screen, then you want to be guarded against the dangers of things like blue lights. So we have a technology called IEs that allows you to filters out that blue light, so you're sort of less tired at the end of those very, very busy days. And then another is security. Like with people moving from the office back to the home and soon to be on the road, security is a massive issue. And it is an issue because you're now no longer behind the corporate firewall. And so home routers are inherently less secure. And so every single PC from HP comes with built-in security down at the hardware level. We call that root of trust. And that sort of really helps. And then there's other things that we've put on Dragonfly Max, like tamper-proofing, so that when people do start traveling, if that laptop is stolen and people try and unscrew the back, then it will actually lock the BIOS, which is part of the the code before the operating system boots up. And then I'd say lastly, I talked about these are all the end user benefits, the person that's actually using it. But these IT people we work with, who really are the heroes over the last year, they've managed to get thousands of people back to work very quickly. Well, we've done more for them. We have something called Smart Support, which basically means there's telemetry data constantly going from the device back to our support organization. So, if something does go wrong and an IT person calls our customer support line, we know exactly who they are, what that PC has done, what's happened to it, why it might have gone down, and we can fix that problem much quicker than we could before.
I have a bit of a two-part question, Andy. What are some of the specifics that make HP Elite Dragonfly Max such a unique laptop? And what are some of the additional innovative elements of the Dragonfly Max's technology?
Let's start with collaboration. Collaboration is how do I work with others, when I'm not physically present, which we've all been doing a lot of. And so the first is you want to be seen. And you want to be seen because a huge amount of communication is nonverbal. And so with Dragonfly Max, we've actually put a 5-megapixel camera on that tiny form factor. The second is you want to be heard, and so audio is massively important. And Dragonfly Max has some really cool sound technologies. The first is where we use artificial intelligence to block out background noises that we know are a distraction. And you come back to when I talked about this whole notion of focus and the ability to focus, and when you're unfocused, it takes a lot of time to get back in the zone. And so, that AI technology will block out dogs barking, sirens in the background. The other is sound calibration. And so, Dragonfly Max actually knows if you're watching a video on Netflix or if you're on an audio call on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and it will be able to sort of decode that sound and give you the best sound possible. Another technology is what we call HP IEs. And this is all around if you're spending 10 hours a day in front of that screen, there's a lot of blue light. And blue light is bad for your eyes. It can make you more tired. And so IEs is a filter on that panel, electronic filter, that filters out all of that blue light.
Well, those are some serious tech bragging rights.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of them, Mark. In fact, innovation is sort of core to HP's philosophy and what we do, but we want to make sure that innovation really, really actually helps solve real customer pain points. And as you can see, those pain points, we all experience them every day. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that.
I think I should point out that the innovation of the HP Elite Dragonfly Max also took an ecological concern into consideration. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I actually have a daughter who's studying environmental science right now. And so I get a performance review every single day on how we're doing in terms of sustainability in the environment. And in fact, it's not just the right thing to do, it's actually really good business now. So we're seeing more and more of our customers, our corporate customers and consumers demand that we lead in this area around sustainability. And HP has a pretty long history around this in our 80-year DNA, because our founders were both real outdoors people and have sort of espoused, the environment as part of our corporate culture for many, many years. But as it pertains particularly to Dragonfly, a couple of things we're really proud of. The first is that we use 80% recycled materials on all of the mechanical parts. So on the mechanical parts in a whole, 80% of those are using recycled materials to some degree. And within that, we're using ocean-bound plastics as well. So the speaker box is one example where the plastic around the speaker box is actually used by recycled bottles that we take out of rivers before they actually reach the ocean, so that sort of, non-polluting the oceans before they get into that cycle. And then lastly, all of the packaging is sustainably sourced. So, this is one that I think, the whole industry is going to benefit from. And our aspiration is to continue to maintain that we have the most sustainable portfolio across our PC business.
HP is certainly setting the bar, Andy. To summarize, what do you want our viewers to take away from our talk today about your technology?
Well, thanks, Mark. I do appreciate that. I think if you think about Dragonfly Max, we believe it's the most advanced corporate PC for people that are working on the go or working in their home office and really sort of need to collaborate and be productive, with their peers across the world.
Global Head of Commercial PCs for HP Inc., Andy Rhodes, always here to bring us up to speed on the fast-moving technological changes in the PC environment.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It's been great talking to you. We never stop reinventing, for our customers on the big things that they really care about.
Thank you, Andy. For more information, go to hp.com or log on to techimpact.tv.